Hello, everybody. My name is Tom. I'm the developer for the Earthdawn system for Foundry Virtual Tabletop. I'd had some people request that I make a series of videos showing how to use the system in the way that we've envisioned. I want to give everybody a fair warning. The system is under active development, so some of what you see may end up being superseded by future, items that we put into the game or features that we implement. But this should at least give you an idea of where to find each of the components that you'll want and put them together in order to get yourself up and running with Earthdawn in Foundry Virtual Tabletop. The first thing that you're going to want to do as a player is to create yourself a new actor. Now, some game masters will set up the permissions such that you can do this yourself. It's possible that your GM will have the permissions set up such that he or she will have to put that together for you, but the general process of creating a character is much the same. In the right hand menu, you select the icon that looks like these three little people. This is the actors menu, and there should be a button called Create Actor. When you click on it, it will ask you to name your actor. I'm going to name it a old Earthdawn name that my family has used since 1993, Gall Selwyn. Make sure to leave him as a PC for player character. If you're a game master, you may want to create NPCs or creatures, and then you simply click the Create New Actor button. At this point, a brand new blank character sheet will pop up. Notice that some of these values on the sheet are not filled in right now. Some of them are with values that don't really make a whole lot of sense. Don't worry, this will calculate as we go through. First step in creating a character on the virtual tabletop, just like on the regular tabletop, is to choose a name giver race for your character. Now, if you have the premium module for Earthdawn, you will find a compendium in this compendiums menu, which is the icon that looks like the closed book, should be called Name Giver. I've divided mine up. I have a folder of items that players are likely to use, so that's where mine is, but yours could be in a different folder here. I'm going to grab an Obsidian. Now, the great thing about having the premium module in Foundry, or just Foundry in general, if you're willing to put in the time to set everything up, is that many things can be automated, clicked and dragged and dropped onto the sheet. So I'm just going to click and hold on where it says Obsidian, hover it over my sheet, and drop it. You'll notice that the race on the character sheet has now been updated to Obsidian. Good. So you'll see that nothing has really changed at this point, but that will become a different story here in just a minute. About the only thing that's defined solely by your name giver race is the movement rate, which you may notice has been set to 10 now because of the fact that the Obsidian name giver race was dropped on there. I'm going to now, second step in creating character is to choose a discipline. So I'm going to open up my disciplines compendium. You'll see the 15 core disciplines are in here. I'm going to make my Obsidian a Nethermancer. It's by clicking and dragging. And you'll now notice on the sheet that my character now has one rank of Nethermancer. Good. Next step in the process is going to be to make yourself a choose your attribute numbers. You may notice as well after I dropped this, some of the values have again updated. My physical armor has now changed to 3 because of the fact that I am an Obsidian. My health ratings have also been increased based on the fact that I have one circle in a discipline now, which I didn't previously. So that did update based on the durability that's stored in the discipline value. If you click on the title of the discipline, it will go ahead and call up some information about it. It will show what circle you have in it, what the durability is. It'll show some game info for the discipline, and we'll touch base on that in a second. Now, you can, at this point, if you really wanted to, go ahead and just directly type in your attribute values if you've chosen them somewhere else. But what we've done is in this Notes and Legend tab to the far right on the top, you will see a link down near the bottom that says Character Creation. This will enable us to choose the attributes and the points that we want to put onto our character. I'm going to somewhat randomly, notice I put in one single point by clicking the plus button. Notice that now my total for that is listed as 9 because it shows that it started at 8. It's dexterity and I'm an Obsidian. It shows the total points cost for all the ranks that I've put into that attribute, and it shows how many points remain that I can spend. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a couple of attributes here. Notice that everything is updating more or less in real time, and it is doing the correct numbers. Now, what I want you to notice is before I go clicking on this finalize build to actually apply all of these points, notice that my current values are all set to 10, which is the default. My unspent points field is set to 0 because right now it hasn't been determined. And my karma maximum has been set to 3, which is just based on being an Obsidian with one circle on here. Notice that now when I hit the finalize build, my unspent points have now updated to 4. My karma maximum has now been updated to 7. All of my attribute values have been set to the values that I just chose, and my characteristics have all gone ahead and updated based on what I've put in. Now, the system tries to automate as much of this as is humanly possible, but Earthdawn is honestly a complicated game. So there will be some edge cases and some corner cases where the automation will not automatically do what the rules say you should do. So each of these section headings, for example, if you click on armor ratings, it will open up 2 boxes, one for your physical armor on the left, one for your mystic armor on the right, that if you want to apply a manual override, you can do so. So my physical armor just went from 3 to 5 because I put a 2 in the modifier box. That box will allow you to enter any value that you want in case the automation is not calculating things correctly. Next spot we probably want to go is the Talents and Skills tab. Now, one of the things I really like the most about the premium module on here is if you click on your discipline name, I promised we would come back to this, and in the tabs on the left-hand side, click Circle 1, you will now see all of the talent options that are available at Novice, as well as the discipline talents that you have. Let's say I want to keep things simple and I want to take all of the discipline talents. All I'll do is just click and drag them onto the sheet. I now have all 5 of those. I can look through the talent options and decide what I want. I would really, really like my Nethermancer to stay alive, so I'm going to give him Avoid Blow. And then I've got my 2 free talents listed here, which are standard matrices. Now, tricky thing with matrices, because they act differently than other talents do, which if you play the game, I'm sure you know, we didn't put them in the talent section because it's honestly not that useful. In the spells tab, you'll see that now that I've dragged a standard matrix onto the character sheet, I now have a standard matrix. And if I drag the second one, I will now have a second standard matrix involved. And then if I want to update the number of ranks, because I'm given 8 ranks and I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, I'm going to go ahead and give myself an extra rank of thread weaving, nethermancy. And the way that you edit these is on the far right, there's a icon that looks like a paper and a pen. You go ahead and click it, it will open up the sheet, and then you can update the ranks on it. And to keep things simple, I'm going to give my other rank in spellcasting. Good. Notice that there's a section in here where I can specify where this talent came from. So for Avoid Blow, just in case it becomes important later, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to an option. As of right now, that doesn't automatically do anything, but it will allow you to at least keep track of where you got all your stuff from. In the compendium is also a compendium of skill descriptions. So you can grab whatever it is that you want. Let's say that my Obsidian is, I don't know, let's say he's a good actor. Let's go ahead and take that. Let's go ahead and do read and write language. So I can drag that over, and then I just have to update whatever language it is. Notice that in these talent descriptions, there are sometimes links to the appropriate section in the rules. If you have the premium module, you can call up the rules simply by clicking that and then get to the section that you want. Okay. And then finally, when it comes time to outfit your character, you can open up the goods compendium. Every item that is listed in the player's guide is in here and is already set up for use in the game. If you should find an item here that doesn't do what you think it should do or something is missing, please let us know through the normal support channels, but they will typically do the things that you would expect. If I take Crystal Ringlet, put it on, notice that my armor ratings did not change until I go into the inventory tab and select that crystal ringlet is now equipped, and now notice that my physical and mystic armor have changed, as well as, and I promise that this is the case, in the combat tab, my initiative has now changed. Notice that it normally would be step 5. It is now at step 3, because that will be calculated into the characteristics. So the system will definitely try to automate as much as it possibly can. And then finally, the last thing that we would want to do before we would play would be to hit the new day button. That is used during play anytime your character goes to sleep so that you can refresh your karma and your recovery tests. Notice that it did just go ahead and update your recovery tests and the karma to their maximum values. So at this point, provided we had chosen our skills, the last thing that we would do is grab our spells, and then we should be ready to roll. In the spells section, all of the spells are broken down by the discipline that would have them. If I want to take Astral Spear, I would just go ahead, drag Astral Spear onto here. Now all of a sudden it is on the character sheet and ready and available for me to attune into matrices and cast as normal, which will be the subject of another video in this series. If you do have questions, please leave them in the comments of this video. Reach out to me on Discord through the Earthdawn Guild or on the GitLab or the Foundry Discord. I'm in a ton of different places. I'm pretty easy to catch up with, but please let me know what you think of the system, what questions you have, what concerns you have. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great adventure in Barsave, and please make your own legends and tell us all about them. Thank you.